What's up YouTube? I'm Joe. You're watching my channel Ink&Iron, and today I have a review of the Victorinox Pioneer X. This is one of the Alox models, so there are no backside tools, there are no scale tools. Instead we have thicker rivets, we have stiffer scales, and we have non-intrusive liners on here. There's a spot for engraving. I did bring this to work quite a bit. I work in a cannabis lab, so this is pretty gunked up at the moment, and I just wanted to take a sec to show you that it is gunked up and that I did use it. A little bit of surface scuffing here on the reamer. Did get quite a bit of use out of it. You can see some junk hanging out on there. I'm about to clean this out before the review, but yeah, you can see gets to be some schmutz back in there. Blade is looking a little weird. I often wipe this with bleach, so it has been excellent in terms of not rusting. It is indeed stainless steel. Good old Victorinox always coming through for us with the stainless steel. How do I get these scissors open? There we go. Haven't tried to do it on camera yet, of course. There's the scissors. Alright. Let me wipe this down, and then we'll start the full review. And through the power of editing, we are back with a very clean looking Pioneer X. And the first thing I'd like to tell you about this tool is how thick these slip joint springs are. Look at the size of those. Let me bring in a regular Victorinox 91 millimeter. I think this is a 91 millimeter tool, but yeah, generally these springs are thicker, so the tools are springier, so to speak. They stand up more strongly than a regular Victorinox tool. So yeah, that's been nice. Gives me a more secure feeling. Being a guy who transitioned from locking knife mechanisms and tool mechanisms to non-locking, yeah, this one gives me a very secure feeling in the hand. So anyway, let's go through the tool set, and I'm going to start with the awl. So as you can see, got a little bit of wear there from just my general usage. It is quite sharp. I don't think it's paper cutting sharp, but boy, if you need to ream some PVC or copper pipe or something like that, this is the tool for the job. It is very easy to access, as you can see right here. Basically, this whole ledge right here can be gotten with a thumbnail or fingernail or something of that nature and just pulled straight up. I found a bunch of uses for this, anything from scraping to poking to, you know, just gently using the tip on something. Yeah, a great general purpose tool and easily accessed. So yeah, I gotta say I like the awl. Wish to see it on more tools in the future. Let's talk about the blade. This is a fairly standard size Victorinox blade. Let me break out a different one. Boom. So I think you can see slightly wider on the Alox version and slightly thicker. Yeah, you can see clearly on the spines that the Alox version is thicker than the normal blade. It locks up very, very sturdily. It's pretty hard to disengage, honestly. Really likes to spring open and really likes to guillotine close. Check this out. Boom. So that is maybe one drawback of this tool. If you're clumsy, you might get caught in something like that. So hope that doesn't happen to you. The blade itself is good. It's not spectacular. It takes a decent edge, has a nice kind of mirrored, mirrored stone-washed finish to it. It is very rust resistant, that I can say for sure. I've sprayed it with bleach and alcohol and ethanol and all kinds of stuff, and still has no signs of rust on it. Although I just cleaned it and it still has schmutz on it, so that's more about me than this blade. Yeah, it's all right. It's not the best steel. It is very stainless, which makes it not super edge holding. However, for general utility purposes, I think it's just fine and pretty easy to sharpen. So if you're a beginner sharpener or don't know anything about sharpening and want to try your hand at it, this is a great first blade to try that out. Alright, let's go on to the scissors, and this is why this is the Pioneer X. X meaning scissors, because there's a Pioneer that has no scissors. So yeah, these are the large Victorinox scissors. I can prove it. Oh, still have the blade open on this other one. Does this have scissors? Yes, it does. How do I open them? There we go. Okay. So as you'll notice, the nail nick is kind of opposite. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little weird compared to most Victorinox tools. Like if we line up the logos here, nail nick on this side, this one has it on the other side. So yeah, it does feel a little bit different than other Victorinox tools in taking it out, but in function, just the same. Very smooth action. Make sure to keep this pivot point clean if you have one of these. That will just help the general action of your scissors, but I just cleaned these up and nice and smooth. Pretty nice Victorinox scissors there. Let me move this out of the way. They are a little bit thicker than typical scissors, and there is no sort of thumb ledge. I mean, this is fairly standard for Victorinox tools. Not really a thumb ledge to speak of. Something like, you know, the Gerber NXT suspension here, where the scissors on this. You can see right here, this is the scissors push down part, like this little part right here. They give you a little ledge. Not really a ledge on this one, but they are so smooth operating and so tiny that I don't think you'll overexert your thumb and sort of give yourself a bruise or anything. Might just be a little bit uncomfortable at worst. So not too bad. My one complaint is that when they're folded up like this, that's how they sit in the tool, and so they are constantly depressing the spring. So it does wear out over time. You get less jaw opening here at the scissors point. Yeah, might need a spring replacement in the future just because of how it's designed, but such is the nature of these tools. The can opener, where'd it go? Nope, wrong one. Here we go. Can opener. Pretty standard Victorinox can opener. It does have a pretty decent edge on here. It is not like paper cutting or shaving sharp or anything. It is just a single edge on there. However, definitely strong enough, or sharp enough rather, to puncture a can with ease. There does appear to be a flat tip driver at the end of this, although in my usage, I think you can actually see it's just chewed up the can opener edge more than anything to use this tip, because, you know, anything deeper than, what is this, like about 1 millimeter? Anything deeper than about 1 millimeter and suddenly you're twisting with this sharpened portion of the can opener. So not fantastic, but it is what it is. All right, and lastly we have our bottle opener slash large flathead driver slash wire bender. I don't think it's a wire stripper because it has no real blade to it. I think it's a wire bender. This one has a 90-degree stop, so you can see it wants to just hang out at 90 degrees. That is for the screwdriver portion of this, so you can actually get more leverage on something if you need it. I don't run across a whole lot of flat, like, you know, flathead screws, but that's just me. This is a thicker tool as well, so they taper the edge here down to a fairly fine point. I use it for scraping mostly. The bottle opener works well, works just as good as any other Victorinox bottle opener. Maybe feels a little sturdier because of the general thickness and the thickness of the spring on the backside. And then the wire bender, I can't say I've really used it. It is very, very small for very, very small gauge wire. So yeah, not exactly sure what everyone's use case for that would be. I can't say I've really used it much. Yeah, so overall, let me touch on a few points here. Compared to something like this one, this is the Victorinox Explorer model, which I have upgraded with the plus scales. I am missing just the basic scale tools. I do like the little tweezers that come with most Victorinox tools. I do like the toothpick quite a bit, so kind of wishing that this tool had at least one, or like the straight pin or something. But that being said, if you like simplicity, this is probably the way to go. I would say this is best matched with a dedicated pair of pliers. I was using my Knipex pliers in combination with this tool, and it was a great substitute for something like, you know, a multi-tool like this Roxxon Storm, or say something like the Gerber Suspension NXT. I think these two tools together kind of form a multi-tool unto themselves, without having to compromise a lot of functionality with a folding set of pliers. So yeah, I think overall it's a very good tool. There is that potential for the finger guillotine, you know, with the knife blade here, so just be wary of that. I think besides the knife blade, this is a fairly easy tool to like hand off to somebody. Like if you see them struggling to open a bottle, you open up this tool and hand it to them. They understand what it is, they use it, and then they can put it away very easily just by pushing the backside. So with the exception of the knife blade, I think it's a great loaner tool in that sense. And it looks like a tool. It never really looks like a weapon. Like if I bring in, here's the Leatherman Surge, blacked out tactical finish, and you know, two of the things on the outside are blades. Like this is a fairly intimidating presence in terms of tools, and this is a very gentle and sort of friendly form factor. So I would keep that in mind as well for something like this Alox Pioneer. Quick side note here, the rivets are showing some signs of wear, and the only wear they're really showing is that they're starting to turn yellow. So whatever chromium finish they had on them is starting to wear off and showing what is evidently brass underneath. I don't really have a problem with that. Most Victorinox are pinned with brass rod, so yeah, kind of makes sense in this context. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Pioneer X Alox version. I do like this tool quite a bit. It's fairly easy to clean. It cleans up very, very nicely because of this high chromium content steel that it's made of. It does have a lanyard ring if you're so inclined to use a lanyard. I put a pocket clip on mine, and you can see it's kind of walked out a little bit from use. So yeah, I would say I recommend this tool. The going price, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it in the description. When you're in competition with something like other Victorinox tools, or maybe even like small multi-tools like this Gerber dime, I think that these tools sort of stand alone. You can use them all day without worry, and yeah, they're very reliable. So I've been a big fan, and that's been my long-term review. I've used this for months now and quite like it. So that's my long-term review of the Pioneer X. I've been Joe. You've been watching Ink&Iron. For more content like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get my notifications. I collect other tools and knives and EDC gear all over the place, so if you like that kind of thing, please subscribe, hit like if you like the video, hit thumbs down if you didn't like it, and tell me why in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.